Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some West Elm and Pottery barn decor dupes using products from the Dollar Tree. Now I was originally going to do all boho themed from West Elm, but two of the projects didn't turn out, so I ended up substituting Pottery barn in there, and I really like the way those projects came out. So I hope you do too. If you enjoy this video and like it, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. For the first DIY project, we are going to be taking this wooden cube box that comes with a wooden drawer from Dollar Tree, and you're going to peel that completely apart. And once you have that done, you're going to take a ruler and you're going to mark down the middle, so you're making two triangle pieces out of your square piece. Then you're going to cut those down that line, and then you're going to take a little bit of sandpaper and smooth out the edges. Once you have that done, I'm taking these wooden cubes that Dollar Tree carries in a pack. Pick up them. They're great for various projects that we work on here on my channel. And then you're going to glue those together. You can use super glue, you can use wood glue, use whatever glue that you would like. My Dollar Tree doesn't seem to carry the super glue for some reason. I don't know why, but I can't find it. So the next part is to glue your two cubes together. And once you have that done, then go ahead and cut the bottom of your triangle so it's flattened. And then you're going to glue that to the base of your wooden blocks here. And this is where your creativity comes out. You can do whatever shape you want. This is basically kind of like a really cool sculpture piece. So I went ahead and just glued on the triangles in different ways and offsetting them a little bit. I ended up using 5 triangles for this project, but you can use less or more. It's completely up to you. Now I'm going in with that Waverly stain paint. You can use traditional stain if you want to, or you could use coffee to stain the boards. It's completely up to you. You could paint them. It's whatever your heart desires. This is just the coloring that the project called for. So I did this on one side, and then I decided to, on the back side of it, only do every other. That way I could paint on black on the opposite ones, just to see if I liked it better, and I liked it and the kids did too. So you'll have to let me know which way you prefer this DIY, if you like it all stained or if you prefer it two-toned. But overall, I think the project came out really well. Obviously mine are triangles, not curved like theirs, but I think it's a pretty good knockoff. And again, it's just one of those accessory pieces that is great for like a bookcase or your office that you don't really want to spend 30 bucks on. So for this DIY, you are going to want a wicker basket of some sort, whatever you have on hand. This one I thrifted about 2 years ago, and I've kept it, and I finally have a project for it, so I'm really excited about that. I went ahead and just took some regular painter's tape and then just went down the middle of it for this project and pressing that down. Now you can spray paint this project if you want to, but I personally like the way brushing on the paint looks better. This is what the dry brushing looks like using the Waverly white paint. Now you can just use regular acrylic paint for this. Use whatever white paint you have on hand. It's really not that big of a deal. I probably wouldn't use high gloss on this, so just keep that in mind. I switched paintbrushes and used this one actually from the Dollar Tree that has really fine bristles, and it kind of just went right into the cracks, so for a slightly thicker coat on there. Once that project's dry, go ahead and remove the painter's tape. I went in with a Sharpie thinking that it was going to work so I could get the shapes out, and I didn't like the way it was working, so I scratched that idea and just went in with regular black paint here. And I'm just freehanding a couple different designs on here that I thought would look really good. The design of the DIY, they're all a little bit different, so you can do whatever look you're looking for. You don't have to mimic it exactly. Plus theirs was a little bit more intricate, and my basket weave design didn't match theirs. So that's why I decided to alternate my plan for the way I was painting it. You can, whatever your design of your basket is, try to go with that, if that makes sense. So if you have small triangles in your basket and things like that, you can highlight those pieces and really bring out that design. I then went in with that Waverly stain paint and just highlighted the outer brow of this basket and then the inner part, and then I just dry brushed the rest of it on just to add a little bit darker and a little bit more depth to the project. This project was really fun to do, and again, each project is going to be unique to your own style. I think this looks really good. It's a great imitation of their product, and again, their baskets are a little bit different than mine, so use what you have on hand and make a fun project. For this one, you are going to want a foam ball, and I'm going to be using this twine that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Also pick up a white foam ball if you can from the Dollar Tree. That way the coloring, they have green ones there. You really don't want that to show through because it will. And if you only happen to have the green ones, then go ahead and paint it first and then go back and glue your twine on. So if you notice here, I started by making a really tight circle with my twine, and now I am leaving about a gap worth of a twine space between each of the lines. I'm actually going to be going in with yarn that Dollar Tree carries, which is pretty awesome, and I'm just going to work myself all the way around the ball. And of course, if you have regular rope, you can do this with the Dollar Tree rope as well, but I think that it looks really good if you use two different size twines, whatever you decide to use, whether that be yarn, cotton twine, rope. Just try to pick two different sizes because that will mimic the style of the DIY that we're trying to replicate here. And again, you can pick whatever colors you want for this project. The second one, the second layer of twine is so much easier to add in because you're basically just filling in the gap and you don't really have to keep that shape so much. But this is the way the project turned out, and it's a great little accent piece. Again, it doesn't cost very much and it's way cheaper and more affordable than what you'd buy at the store. For this DIY project, you're going to want a plastic pot from Dollar Tree. I picked this blue one because it matched the project perfectly. I went ahead and spray painted it upside down, that way I wouldn't ruin the blue on the inside of the pot, and let that dry. Then I took a Sharpie, and you can also use a paint pen for this. I would definitely suggest using some sort of pen though, because if you try to freehand this with a paintbrush, it's not going to turn out very well. The pen allows you a little bit more control when you're painting this. So I went ahead and made my two lines about 1/2 inch apart, and then I started making my angles the same width there. And again, I'm just freehanding this. You could be very precise on this, but it is an outdoor pot, so just think about that when you're doing it. I will say it was a little bit harder for me to do it the angle I'm doing it for the camera. So if you're looking at your project, it's much easier to get those straight lines. I went ahead and matched my diagonal lines to the other lines that I already put in, and then just repeated that process all the way down and continue that. And I made some of them a little bit closer together and some a little bit further. But I will say if you get a completely smooth pot, it definitely helps because the little bubbles on the top made it a little bit harder to keep those lines perfectly straight. But overall, I think the project came out really good. I love the fact that it looks pretty much just like the West Elm one, minus the fact that their lines are slightly closer together and more precise, but I think it's a really good decor dupe. So for the next project, we are going to be using 3 different types of yarn. Dollar Tree carries a ton of different colors. I'm using cream, pink, and a gray here. And I folded underneath my pinky, and then I do 10 loops over my hand. And it's about 4 inches in length, and you're going to cut the last loop a little bit longer. Then I'm going to go in with just some regular white twine that Dollar Tree carries. It's a cotton twine, and I'm going to tie a knot in that at the very top here. And then you're going to leave about 1 foot to 1.5 foot, depending on how long you want yours to be. And then you're going to cut the other side of the loop, and then you're going to cut off the fringe so that it's the same size. Now for this, I decided to wrap the twine around the very top of it and then glue it down. I did about 3 to 4 wraps, and then you get this look for it. Now, you don't have to glue it on. You can weave it through the yarn piece, but it is very tedious and it takes much longer. So I suggest just gluing that on. Tie your knot with your white twine, and then just reposition it a little bit, pull it down, and then make your 3 loops around the top. And you're going to leave that little bit of a gap there. That way you can still hang it up on there. That's why you're going to make sure that when you glue it down, your string is pointing to the very top of your loop, opposite of the bottom of the ends. So it kind of looks like a I don't know, like an octopus, I guess you could say. It's really weird, but I went ahead and made 6 of each color. Now you can make more of this if you want this to be a very big project. It's completely up to you. The next step in this DIY is to get yourself some wooden beads and some twine. The wooden beads are actually from Amazon. I'll have them linked down below for you. I really wanted some natural wood beads and I wanted them to be slightly larger. Dollar Tree does carry smaller ones that you can paint to look like natural wood. It's just an extra step that you have to take. So if you want the real thing, just pick them up. It's completely up to you. I went ahead and strung about 20 of these beads on, and I tied a knot at the end of the rope, that way the beads wouldn't go anywhere. Now it's time to take our tassels that we made, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave 2 beads at the end. I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue between them, and I'm going to wrap that tassel string around and then just let that dry. And then I'm going to start alternating the colors and the heights of the tassels. So I'm attaching a tassel between each bead. You can do every other if you want to, but I think it looks fuller if you do every bead in between. And then also, if you want it to be even fuller, you can attach more than one tassel in between the beads. I just stuck with doing one a piece because I like the way that looked. Again, this project can be however large or small that you want. It just depends on what you're looking for and what the space you are filling this up in. So just continue to alter the colors and the heights, and you can do more than 3 colors too. I just decided I've liked the way these 3 looked together. And I will say this actually looks really good with the woven basket DIY that we made. I don't show it together in this, but it actually looks really good. Once you get all your tassels attached, go ahead and tie 2 knots at the end like we did in the beginning, and then leave yourself a little bit of extra twine to make yourself a little loop, and then glue that closed. That way you can hang up this wall decor piece, and I really like the way it looks, especially with the natural wood beads and everything. Now, the only difference is that I believe they use like embroidery twine, but Dollar Tree didn't carry those, so that's why I used the yarn, which in the end I still think looks really good. Now for this next DIY, you're going to want the black yarn. Dollar Tree carries this in a cotton yarn and then the regular yarn. So keep your eye out for both of them. I went ahead and did 15 loops for these instead of 10, but you can do more if you want to. Again, I left a little bit of a string, and this time I just tied the knot. I wrapped that around and then just did a simple knot in it using the same string because I wanted this to blend in. And I'm going to be making 4 of these for this next project. So a fun new find is Dollar Tree has these little tote bags, and they're in this natural linen color, and I really like them. That's something that's fun about Dollar Tree, is you never know what you're going to find. So I went ahead and snipped off the handles as well as 1 inch of the fabric on the bottom. That way it would be even on top and bottom. And now I am just fixing my little bit of jaggedness on here, and then I'm going to start pulling out the threads and adding a frayed detail to the edging. Now you don't have to do this. You can make it look polished and tuck it in if you want to, or sew this if you wanted to, but the hot glue or fabric glue will work just fine for this project, and I honestly like the way the fringe looks on it. So once you get a little bit taken out there, then go ahead and cut off the excess strings. I'm going to take my hot glue and just add in that tassel, and I left the tassel string only about 1/2 inch long, that way it wouldn't show through because it was dark yarn obviously. And then you're going to run your bead of glue, whether that be the fabric glue, the hot glue, or your sewing machine, about close to 1/2 inch down. That way it will still show that frayed edge detail if that's what you want. And then I'm going to finish out the last corner here with the tassel, again just adding the hot glue and putting that in. Now of course you could sew that in. Next step is to put your pillow insert in, or to add your pillow stuffing. Get that all in there and concealed, and then you're going to finish the last edge by again adding your glue and then putting on your last tassel. But I absolutely love how cute this pillow is. It's super easy. Plus it was a bonus DIY since I found the cute tote bag. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you like these decor dupe videos, be sure to subscribe for more. I have plenty more in the description box below or here on the screen. I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.